not going to do the thing. You know what you're watching. So 2019, I had been visiting my grandparents over Christmas. Really not well. Everything. It's really bad, and it's been continuing to get bad. But I handled it the best I could. I think I did a pretty good job. Came home, and then I had an appointment back with my primary care doctor. I hadn't seen the cardiologist yet because the wait to see her was pretty long. And my doctor, I went in and she was like, your blood work all came back negative, which she had already told me. She had sent me a message. She's like, I don't know what you expect me to do for you. And I was kind of like, she's like, there's no point in trying to get a diagnosis, even if you do have this ehlers-danlos, which is very unlikely that you do. They're just going to send you to physical therapy, and it's literally we can do that without a diagnosis. And it was very, I didn't know what to say, so I just kind of, shut down and took it. But I was so upset. Oh, I forgot to talk about the doctor that I'd seen earlier. It was one of my primary care doctor's colleagues, and he told me that I was too young to be this sick, and I was supposed to be healthy, and I was wrong about how my medications were affecting me, and it didn't matter that we had checked all my medications to see if they were causing the symptoms. They were causing the symptoms, and he stood the whole time, like, being dominating, and it was just, that was a bad day. So I went home, and I was really upset from the one with my primary care doctor. I told my mom, and she was like, "Okay, we're gonna go see her again." And she was gonna go with me. And we had decided that my mom would talk to the doctor about some of my concerns about being invalidated and brushed off. They would talk one-on-one, so it would be less stressful for me and my anxiety, which I agreed to. We had talked. I felt like we really had a plan. We were on the same page going into the appointment. So the appointment went pretty well. She gave me a referral to a geneticist and to see a rheumatologist, which is great. I was happy about that. Then I stepped out so they could talk, and when I came back in, I was so uncomfortable. I could just feel in the room that there was something. I didn't really know what to make of it. But, we ended the appointment, and then we were driving home, and I asked my mom what they talked about, and they had talked about, or how it felt like it came off as, was that I needed to just get over the thought of this diagnosis and just start accepting the fact that this is my life and that it's psychologically caused, and more therapy, and just totally invalidating to the fact that I just spent a year doing therapy and treatment for that, and that my mental health was so much better. And if it was caused by my anxiety, why would my physical health go down as my mental health went up? Nobody's been able to answer that. And I was so angry. It was a big fight between my mom and I because I felt so betrayed, I guess, by her, that she had just decided she had changed what she was talking about from what we had planned to a little like, Emma needs to get over it and just understand that it's psychiatric powwow between her and my doctor. So we talked a lot about it. I have trust problems already due to my childhood, and so that made it feel even worse. But we talked it through, and I was like, I'm not gonna let you talk alone with one of my doctors again. I need you to be on my page. Like, if you're gonna come and support me, and I really do need her there to support me, because the doctors, I shut down really easily, and you have to advocate for yourself, and I can't always do that, and she's really good at advocating. So, we talked a lot about it. I think that was the last time I saw my primary care doctor. Saw the cardiologist, who told me my Holter monitor results had come back fine. Well, except for the tachycardia, obviously. But my heart structurally was fine, and the echo. Okay, let's see how much more it lets me talk. So, the cardiologist kept saying how POTS was a throwaway diagnosis, like fibromyalgia, and doctors just throw it at people who are wanting a diagnosis just to, like, shut them up, basically. And that, like, wasn't really a real thing, and there was no treatment for it, so what was the point? And I tried to push back, and then I started to shut down, and then my mom was, like, boosted me up. And then she started talking about how all these things would be causing my heart rate, like heat and fevers and anxiety and stress and everything. I'm like, except it's not, those aren't causing it. And then she was like looking at my blood pressure measurements, and she's like, you can't have POTS because your blood pressure is fine. One of the types of POTS is about blood pressure. The other one is completely unrelated to blood pressure, which she apparently didn't know. And I tried to say something about it. I was like, I thought POTS had nothing to do with blood pressure. She was like, no, like, come on. I'm like, really, just. And then we were talking about different treatments for it. She moved all around, because at the end it sort of seemed like she was like on board. She flipped out when I suggested the possibility of doing saline infusions instead of, going on a medication, because I don't understand why that's not considered a reasonable option, to try that instead of medication first. I don't know. Thoughts? Am I the only one who feels that way? She, like, freaked out and was, like, trying to scare me away from doing it. So, that was great. But then she did the poor man's tilt table test, and my heart rate went crazy, like it does. My mom was watching it. But the person was looking away from the monitor and only marked measurements every 3 minutes. And she was only looking at my blood pressure, so didn't really care about my heart rate. But she did give me a referral to go to a dysautonomia clinic at the other big research hospital near us, which is happening on February 25th. We got a slot back from our original appointment was May 2nd, so like. So yeah, I mean, I guess from that point till now, it's just kind of been, oh no, it hasn't. Okay, you ready for this? So, the genetics referral stuff. My primary care doctor had said she was going to send it through. First she sent it in the system of her, I don't know what to call it, her healthcare system, and their genetics only does maternity and oncology. So then I was told to call these two research hospitals, the one I'd seen the gastroenterologist at, and the other one. And I called this one, and they said they're not accepting any adult EDS patients, because I guess testing for that is all out of children's hospitals, which is interesting. And I called this hospital, and the lady was really rude to me that I didn't have the referral ready to give to her. So I had to call back to my doctor and get the referral sent to them, and then a paper was missing, so I had to call back to them, and then I went back, and they were like, oh, the paper's here, but it hasn't gone all the way through the system yet, so the schedulers will call you to make an appointment when it comes through. I was like, okay, it's long, but okay. Then I get a message from my primary care doctor telling me that the genetics clinic had rejected seeing me because I don't meet the criteria for ehlers-danlos. What? It's really not okay to say stuff like that when you haven't actually tested somebody for the criteria. And I'm not going to self-diagnose because I guess I don't want to do that. I mean, but I do meet that freaking criteria. So she's just talking out of her rear when she says that kind of stuff. And how dare she? I was like, how dare she have told this research hospital that? They only talked to her, so if they rejected me, that's because she told them that I don't meet the criteria. I since got a letter from the research hospital talking about it, and so I'm less mad at my primary care doctor, or I would be, if it were not for the other things that she'd done. Like, after that big long appointment we had, she put weight gain from medication, health anxiety, and other pain on my chart. Were you at the same appointment as I was? Because, like, kind of talked about a little bit more than that. And I don't think anybody is going to believe me about this, but I don't have anxiety about this. Not about my health. Maybe about the going through the process, but I just want an answer. I don't think I'm alone in that in the chronic illness community. I just want an answer. Like, would it be freaking cancer? I mean, I don't want it to be cancer, obviously, but it is so frustrating to not know what's going on in your own body. Or to know what's going on and not have people take you seriously. Plus, on my disability paperwork for school, she put down all of my symptoms as side effects from my psychiatric medications. Yeah, those meds definitely caused my knees and my hip and my shoulder and my toes to dislocate. Didn't you know? So, I think that is where we are at. It is (1:30 a.m., technically Monday. This Thursday is my appointment with the rheumatologist, which I am keeping my fingers crossed for. But, you know what? It's a step in the journey. It's weird to think about the fact that I could walk away from this appointment with some sort of preliminary diagnosis. It's really weird. I don't want to hope for that because I don't want to, like, let myself down. But at the same time, if you don't hope, you gotta keep going. I mean, if this doctor isn't good, it doesn't really matter what he says. You hear her? I was having a serious moment, Olive. I think we need to break. We need to try to break this mold, or whatever you want to call it. That doctors always know the answers, because they do not always know the answers. They are taught what they're taught. They know what they know. They come into things with their own biases, with their own experience, with their whatever you want to call it. And I mean even for something like ehlers-danlos, a lot of doctors have never even heard of it, which is scary when they're trying to make decisions for you. So you have to be your own advocate and fight for you, because you know what's happening in your body. You may not know the name for it or like what's happening with your proteins, but your soft tissue proteins and collagen and connective tissue and all that jazz. But you know when your knees dislocate, and you know when you have a migraine every day for a month, and you know when you are lying on the bathroom floor at like 5 o'clock in the morning trying not to throw up but wishing you could, but no, you can't physically because your body won't let you. You are the one experiencing that, and you can explain it to a doctor. They can understand. They can be the best doctor in the world, but they do not know what it is like to be living inside of your body. So with that, I apologize for the very long video. Fellow zebra warriors, stay strong. This stuff is hard, real hard. And we persevere because we are awesome, and we deserve to be treated with respect. We deserve to be believed. We deserve to be treated medically with respect. We are. And then my fry life, I choose joy. I have another one that says my body may be broken, but my smile still works. That one's my favorite. Okay, it is 1:30 and I am going to sleep. So if you watched any parts of this, thank you. And I'll see you guys in the next video.